The Republican convention is from today, August 24th, until Thursday the 27th. The Democratic convention was last week, from the 17th to the 20th, and these are displayed as red and blue in the ephemeris. For Trump, if we look closely at the 4 days of the Republican convention, we see that in a context of very difficult transits from Saturn and Neptune, we now have Mars and Jupiter to add to the mix. Mars was transiting from 24 to 25 degrees during the Dem convention, and now it will be between 26 and almost 27. You can safely guess that he was uncomfortable when Biden, Kamala, Obama, etc. were saying their piece, because Mars was fully entrenched in a square to his Saturn-Venus. But now it's a little forward, and it's trining his natal Mars, which means he will feel much better than last week. Now it's true that Mars is forward, but it's not forward quite enough to fully get away from the Venus square. The good feeling the trine will bring in will tend to make him carefree in the way he expresses himself. This means that the Mars directness, combat, aggression, vulgarity will come out of him very naturally, and I'm sure he will really feel like his natural self and like he is really telling it like it is. However, the link to the Venus square, and especially when we consider the bigger cycles of Saturn and Neptune, means what he thinks is free expression, as in let it rip, my voice will help more people to like me, is actually more likely to damage his own cause. When Saturn is opposing, you need to be cautious and play defense. Mars likes to play offense, but it seldom works when Saturn is this strongly opposed. Under a Neptune square, you are counseled to tell the truth. But of course, the square also tends to put you in situations where telling the truth is really hard. And besides, Trump never tells the truth. So you already know that's never going to happen. Translation: prepare yourself to hear a lot of aggressive Mars talk that I strongly suspect will later become very effective ads against him. Notice also that Jupiter is an important factor during this convention because from mid-August until October, it is square his natal Jupiter, and this is going to increase the over-the-top exaggerations and wild claims that he's prone to. Jupiter running amok, in square or opposition, makes everything huge. It's an expansive principle, but used in this way will come back to hurt you for the same reason excessive Mars aggression also turns out to be a negative. Bottom line, I would say don't get too worked up by the likely unbelievable stuff that is going to come out of his enormous mouth during these 4 days. Like I've always said, this guy's genius is he says this, he says that, he bellows this, he yells that, and then he says some more. All empty messaging and all complete BS. His problem is the cycles no longer support him, and this means that for every 4 people who love his words and are determined to vote for him, 6 will feel the exact opposite and will be just as adamant to vote against him. And don't worry about his desperate attempts to cheat. That too will prove impossible to pull off, once again because the planets won't let him.